got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
The room is full with the darkness, and the sounds of moans are echoing into our room. A girl is breathing heavily under a breathtaking handsome man. Their heart beats and the contact between our two naked bodies rising the room temperature already. And a man was thrusting himself into a girl with full speed, and while she is a totally mess under a man who is getting pleasure from her body.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits coming.
After some time, he take himself out from her and lied beside her with heavy breath. She opened her eyes and looked toward him. Girl, master, are you satisfied now? She again hovered over him to give him a pleasure by her touch on his naked body. After listening her voice, he opened his dark eyes and looked toward the girl. Jungkook smirked. He let out the evil chuckle, sending shiver down her body. You are here to satisfy me by your body, and it's such a pity that you are not good enough to satisfy me. He looked toward her with his dark evil eyes. He held her hair harshly in his fist, and she gasped. Girl, tears led from her eyes. I'm sorry, master, if I did not satisfy you. Jungkook, yeah, you waste my time and money on your body. It's just a shit like your mons who are hurting my ears. He gritted his teeth and threw her on the floor from the bed. He got up from the bed and called one of his guards. He was wearing his shirt and pant, and at the moment someone knocked on the door. Guard, boss. Then he bowed to him. He turned and looked toward his guard. Jungkook, take her away from my eyes. Tonight she is your gift. Do whatever you want. Girl looked toward him with pleading eyes. Masters, please don't do this. Please give me one more chance. She begged in front of him. He tilted and looked toward his face and held her jaw hardly. Jungkook, you have nothing to satisfy me, stripper, but your tears are giving me a satisfaction that you can't give me on a bed. So cry today louder and louder, so I feel relaxed. Evil smirk appear on his lips. Get that away from my eyes and make her cry loud for me. He ordered to his man and he leave her jaw harshly and walked toward the window. Guard entered to her room, hold her armpits and drag her away from the room. His mans are just like him, cruel as he is with other. He take out the cigarette and lighter from his pocket and placed the cigarette between his teeth, well lightened up. He looking toward the sky with his dark, bloodshot eyes, will take puff of toxic smokes and release into a heavy breath into the air. Then he take deep breaths. Suddenly the voice of the girl crying echoing into the mansion. He closed his eyes, an unknown smile appeared on his lips. Jungkook, it's so relaxing, he mumbled. He was enjoying the sounds of her crying. Suddenly his phone vibrated into his pocket. He frowned his brows and picked up the call and placed it into his ear and listened something. After a few times he cut the call without saying a word. He just gave into a response and then cut the call, take his coat from the bed and walk out from the room. After some time he reached to a mansion and his guard lined it up into a row to protecting his boss. He came out from the car and walked toward the mansion, the smoke of his cigarette and releasing into the air, and his dark aura and voice of his shiny black shoes was making everyone aware who is coming. All his guard bowed to him into a line. The floor was full with the splashes of blood, and his soul-piercing eyes was looking toward the man who was tied up with the ropes into a chair. He come and stand in front of him. The man looked toward him with his tidy eyes, 𝙤𝙀, smirk. So the king of cruel world and the well-known devil is here in front of my eyes. He released tossing smoke on his face and tilted his head to see his wand. Jungkook, I think this punishment is not enough for you, Mr. 𝙤𝙀. Devilish smirk plastered on his face. Look toward you. Now you are nothing, just a common man. You lost everything, your man, your family, your money, and now this mansion. Congratulations, you are poor now. He looked toward him with full of hate. 𝙤𝙀, yeah, you're right, but after that the world will remember me as a respected man. But when you will die, did you think from which words people will remember you? He looked toward him with a devilish smirk, and his eyes was on his face. Without blinking, he suddenly come near to his face and laughed like a psycho. Jungkook, well, I'm not like you, who died like this. I'm the devil, and even death need a permission from me before coming toward me. And yeah, your next question, how people will remember me? They will remember me as a devil who can kill anyone for his need. 𝙤𝙀, you don't have any heart. When you killed my 15-year-old son, just because I did not sell this mansion on you, tears flowing down from his eyes, because he lost his son, and the killer of his son is standing in front of his eyes and he can't do anything. He laughed on his words. Jungkook, during laughing, What did you say? Heart. He laughed again on his words like a psychopath. Did you ever listen that devil have a heart? He wiped tears from his eyes, which appeared on his eyes because of laughing. Stupid old man. But unfortunately, so now it's time to say goodbye to this world. You know I have some more work to do. He take out his gun and looked towards 𝙤𝙀. Jungkook, any last wish, Mr. 𝙤𝙀? 𝙤𝙀, go to hell, Jungkook. He chuckled and smirked on his word. Jungkook, sure, that's my second home after that. Then he shot all the bullets on his body non-stop and looked toward his body. He took the cigarette from his card and pressed it on the man's dead body. Wands, Jungkook, so another good soul left from this world. The devil doing his job so well. Maybe God will be happy with me. I'm sending so much work toward him. He mumbled to himself and looked toward his card. Clear this mess and make this death look like a suicide. Guard bowed to him. Yes, boss. After giving them an order, he left for the mansion. He sat into his car and drove toward his own mansion. Mr. Jeon, so my son did his job. He smirked and walked toward his dad. Jungkook, yes, now this mansion is yours and mom as an anniversary gift from me. Mr. Jeon, that's my boy, and don't worry, I will handle everything. Mrs. Jeon looked toward them with pity eyes. Jungkook, you don't have to do this. He was a good man. This mansion was not that much beautiful. Instead of this, we will buy another one. She was talking to him. Suddenly someone deadly stare landed on her face and she quickly sealed her lips and stopped talking. Mr. Jeon, who gave you right, honey, to talk between a two mans? You are just a woman, so stay in your limits, and otherwise you know me well. Jungkook, Dad, come on, just stop this nonsense in front of me. I'm going to my room. Without looking toward her mom tears, he walked toward his room. And Mr. Jeon also left his wife alone into a living room. She sat into the sofa and got worried about his son's future. She never wanted that his son will follow his dad's footsteps, but her all hard work ended up on nothing. In these all years, Jungkook became more powerful and merciless like his father. She held her head with her one hand. Mrs. Jeon, why it's happening? How my son becomes so cruel and merciless, more than his father? I never wanted to be my son will be like his father, but now I lost my all efforts is now waste. Today I lost my best friend because of my son, and I can't even cry in front of them. I lose my son in this dark world. Now he is a devil who is made by his father. She cried on her faith. Forgive me, Sukan and Lily. Please, I try everything. Please forgive me. Next morning, he was sleeping peacefully. Suddenly, his phone vibrated. He frowned his brows and opened his sleepy eyes and looked toward the phone. He picked up the call with full of anger. Jungkook, who the is this? You want to die today from my? Why are you disturbing me? He yelled into the next person without listening him. Manager, so sorry, boss. Actually, today is a meeting. I think you know about it. His voice was shivering badly. Jungkook, I think you want to die from my hands. You son of a manager. No, boss. Actually, everyone is waiting for you. Please come, sir. Jungkook, Without letting him speak anything further, he cut the call and got up from the bed, while cracking his neck and muscles, making some bone-popping sound, and walked toward the washroom and take the hot shower. The water was dripping from his muscled shoulders and tattooed arms. He placed his hand on the wall and take deep breath. He closed his eyes to feel this warm water on his every inch of the body. After a few minutes, he wear his clothes and left from the room. He came down from the stairs for the breakfast and sit into the chair. His dad was talking to a phone with one of his childhood friend. He is poor and don't know anything about the reality of his friend. He was thinking that he is a CEO of a big company. After some minutes, he cut the call. Mr. John, honey, today my friend's daughter is coming to our house. She got admission into a high school, so I tell him she will be living in our house. She well know about his son. She got worried after listening this. Mrs. Jeon, no, tell them I will arrange a best hostel for her. So don't come here. Mr. Jeon looked toward his wife with confusion. Mr. Jeon, she is my best friend daughter, and she is coming from the village, and only they know us in this entire city. And you are telling me to tell them to not come here because my stupid wife lost her brains today. He insulted his wife in front of his son. She looked toward his husband with disbelief expression. Mrs. Jeon, actually I want to say, Mr. Jeon, oh just shut up. She is coming here, and until her studies got complete she will stay here. Now no more words. I want to listen from your mouth. Jungkook was busy into eating his breakfast, but his ear was on his parents' conversation. Before getting up from the chair, he ordered his wife to tie his laces. Mrs. Jeon get down on her knees and tie his laces. Mr. Jeon sent a car for her at 3 p.m. Okay? She nodded her head and to the response. And then Jungkook and his dad leave the mansion for his work. Mrs. Jeon sit on the chair and hold her head. Mrs. Jeon, why she is coming into this house? I have to save her into any cost. Before my son eyes land on her, I have to protect her. I know how much beautiful she is. She mumbled and called the maid. Mrs. Jeon, arrange the guest house for her and never ever let her come to this mansion. If she need anything, arrange this for her into this house, but never let her come into this mansion, and especially in front of Jungkook. Okay, never let him see her. All the maids bow. Okay, ma'am. Then all the maids left and doing their work. Village, Vayun, Dad, I will miss you. Please come with me. Dad, no, my daughter, you have to be strong, okay? You are going for your studies, so just focus on it, okay? I want to see my daughter as a doctor. You know, I have a wish from the time when you are in my arms and you hold my finger with your tiny hand. On that time, I wish that when my daughter grow up, I will make her a doctor who save life of the people who need help. You quickly hug your father. Vayun, I promise to you, Dad, one day I will become a doctor and make you proud. Dad, I'm already feel proud on you. Now it's time to go, otherwise you miss the bus. Vayun, wait, I take the bags. You hold the bag in your tiny hand but can't pick it up. Dad, leave it. You are not that much strong. Vayun, but I'm 18 now. Why I'm not strong enough to pick this? Dad, because you are a daddy princess. You make pout and look toward your dad with your innocent face. He pinch on your cheek and hold your hand. Dad, come, let's go. Time skip. You sit in the bus and look toward your father from the window, who is trying his best to hide his tear from you. But you understand everything and control your tears, not to fall from your eyes. And then bus engine got start and driver drive toward the destination. You are looking toward his father while his shadow is going far away from your eyes. Then tears drop from your eyes and you place your hand on your eyes, try to hide it from everyone. Vayun, I miss you, Dad. You mumble and your journey toward your dreams is begun. Name Park Vayun, age 18, belong from poor family, small height, cute innocent face, hazel brown eyes, milky white soft skin, innocent fishes feature. Going to Seoul first time in her life. Actually, she got admission in one of the best high school into the Seoul on full scholarship, did not aware from the modern world. Habit, eating, dancing and painting. You are believing if you are good with people, they will also good with you. But sometimes these goodness will make you pay a great price. Soil, Mr. Kang. So Mr. Jungkook deal is done? Jungkook. He was busy while looking toward the screen, but after listening his voice, he shifted his gaze toward Mr. Kang. Jungkook. No, I want 70% profit in this project. Mr. Kang. It can't possible for us. He was speaking further, but Jungkook did not pay any attention. He again looked toward the screen. Mr. Kang, okay, as you want. He well know about his behavior, that why he did not speak more, and quickly agreed to his word. So Mr. Kang, so if you want, then we sign the paper. Jungkook smirk on his winning. Jungkook, okay, as you wish. After this, they both signed the paper and deal was mostly into the favor of Jungkook. Mr. Kang, after few days we will arrange party and announce this deal. Jungkook, he did not pay any attention to his word and leave him alone like a dumbfounded. Manager, actually sir is busy, Mr. Kang. Mr. Kang, I know, it's okay. Tell him about the party. Manager, wow, okay sir. Then he leaves the meeting hall. You arrive to the Jeon mansion and look toward the mansion from outside of the window, and your jaw was dropped and eyes was wide open. Vayun, oh, it's so big, our whole village can fit in this mansion. You mumble. After some time the car stopped near the main door and one of the guards come toward your side and open the car door. You come out from the car and look toward the Mrs. Jeon. You walk toward her with small steps and stand in front of her. There was no doubt you were looking breathtaking beautiful in your long hanbok and open hairs. Mrs. Jeon smiled. You are so beautiful, just like your mom. You smile innocently and hug her. Vayun, thank you, auntie. She hugged you back. Mrs. Jeon, come inside. You come to the living area and sit on the sofa. You are a little nervous because you never seen such a big house in your entire life. Mrs. Jeon offer you a tea. You will be tired. Have it. You take the cup of tea and was about to lead to your lips. Suddenly one of the maid come toward Mrs. Jeon. Maid, ma'am, Mrs. Jungkook arrived into a mansion. She was breathing heavily. Mrs. Jeon, quickly take up from your hand and look toward her trusted maid. Mrs. Jeon, take her quickly to the guest house from the back door. You get up from the sofa and one of the maid take your bag and other man hold your hand and walk toward the back door quickly. Before Jungkook saw you, you become shocked that what's going on here. You reach to the room and maid place your bag into the floor and close the door behind and sit on the edge of the bed. Vayun, what was this? You are in shock because of their reaction. And who is Jungkook? Why they look so afraid from him? It's their own business, Vayun. Leave it. You mumble to yourself. You jump on the bed, happily. Wow, my room is bigger than my whole house, but I miss you, Dad. I hope you will be there with me. And after some time, you drift into the sleep. Jungkook entered the mansion and his eyes shifted toward his mother, who was standing there like a statue, and looking toward his son. Jungkook looked toward the cup. Jungkook, who come to the mansion, Mom? Mrs. Jeon, one of my friend come today to meet me. Jungkook, so where they are? Mrs. John, actually she is gone. She have some important work to do. He frowned his brows and walked toward his mother. His mom was looking toward his son with a fake smile. Jungkook, if she is gone, then why are you sweating? He touched his mom's forehead and removed the drop of the sweat. Mrs. John, actually my blood pressure is high. I am going to check. It's okay now. You also will be tired. Go to your room. You will be tired. He looked toward his mother with a confused expression but did not pay any attention and walked toward his room. She took deep breath. Mrs. Jeon, where is she? Maid, she is in the guest house. Mrs. Jeon, oh God, thank you so much. Time passed into the midnight. You wake up from the sleep and you feel your stomach is growling. Why, I'm hungry. Is there no one who I asked for a dinner? It's okay, I will get by my own self. You come out from the room and search for the kitchen. You turn on the light and open the fridge. It was full with the food. A smile appeared on your lip. Why, finally now I can cook something yummy for myself. Jungkook was eating his dinner with his mom and dad. Suddenly his phone vibrated and a message appeared on his phone. Sir, we got him. Tell us where we take him. Jungkook, take him to the guest house basement and wait for me. I'm coming. Okay, boss. He turned off his phone and get up from the chair. Mrs. Jeon, where are you going? Jungkook, you eat your dinner. I'm going to the guest house. Her eyes got wide open. Mrs. Jeon, why? Jungkook looked toward his mother. Why are you going there? His face suddenly becomes serious because he don't like to answer any one question. Jungkook, I'm not here to answer your any stupid question. He looked toward his mom with serious face and walked toward the guest house. Mr. Jeon, what's the matter with you, honey? Why are you interfering in his business? Stay in your limits. She rubbed her sweaty hands and tried to control on her tension. She got up from the seat and excused to his husband. Mrs. Jeon, I bring rice for you. Jungkook entered the house, but luckily you are now into the room. He walked toward the basement and looked toward the man who is brutally hitting by his man. He smirked and looked toward him. Jungkook, so tell me, now still you don't afraid from me? The man's eyes was quite open. After seeing him, a fear was clearly visible in his eyes. With his shivering voice, he said, Ma'am, I am sorry, sir. I did not mean to insult you. Jungkook, so then tell me, what you mean on that time? He take the knife from his man and stab on his hand harshly. Man scream out of pain. Jungkook, wow, it feels so good after listening this sound. The blood was streaming down into the floor from his hand. Jungkook, so without wasting any time, I want to tell you something. I want this land by hook or by crook. No one can stop me. So without wasting any time, sign this paper, otherwise you will be in heaven with your family. Man, as you say, sir, just please spare my life, please. A devil's smirk appeared on his lips. Jungkook looked toward his man. Jungkook, give him a paper. Without wasting any time, he signed the paper and gave it to his man. He checked the paper and looked toward the man. He digged his nail into his wand. Jungkook, if you open your filthy mouth, then I will show your real hell in this world. Drop him into his house. He came out from the basement and walked toward his house. Suddenly, she listened a voice of scream. It was coming from your room. He walked toward your room. Suddenly, all lights got turned off. Jungkook, what is happening? He looked toward his guard. Guard, because of heavy rain, one of the riding got tripped. Boss, leave this on us. We check who is this. Jungkook, go check the light. Leave this on me. He walked toward the room and slightly opened the door. He entered into the room. Suddenly, someone hugged him tightly. He got shocked on this sudden touch and looked toward the small figure which was attached to his body tightly. Wayun, please, please don't leave me, please. There is mouse in my room and it's dark also. I'm very scared from the darkness. Please don't leave me. He sniffed your scent and he inhaled your fragrance. It was like a magic, like he never smelled such a magical fragrance before. He slowly touched your hairs and you snuggled your face into his manly chest. He gasped on your small touch and closed his eyes to feel your body on him. Now he lost his control and broke the hug and walked toward the wall. He pinned your hands into the wall with his one hand and took out the lighter from his pocket and into the light of fire he see your face. His eyes got stuck on your beautiful face, and because of fear, you closed your eyes tightly. On the sudden movement, he was staring you with his dark eyes like he is exploring your face each and every corner. Light of the fire was making you more beautiful, like he never saw a beautiful girl like you before.